Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today in Collection of Lessons, I want to talk about eating in versus ordering takeout. Sound like a funny topic, but I want to go through this to show kind of a different view of it. This is part of my collection of lessons that come out every Friday. Talk about everything that I've learned in the last 5 years of my life, business things, whatever things, mindset things, and everything on this channel is not anything advice. So going into this, eating in versus ordering takeout, everyone always says, and we're going to use an example of a pizza today. Everyone always says, well, why would I pay for a pizza if I can get one, from the store and it costs less? So we have two pizzas here. And the one at the store, that's a horrible cut with a little mini piece. The one at the store costs $10, right? And the one that you order takeout from, this is just a single pizza, not a 2-for-1 special or something like that. A single pizza that I usually order is around $20 to $25. So I'm going to show $25 here. So once in a while, we order pizza because we're feeling it, we're craving it. We have cravings these days because we're, people. But anyway, so people say, well, why would you do that if you can just get it from the store and you're basically paying double? And what's actually going on here is usually when you buy a $10 pizza at the grocery store, usually it's frozen, which is fine, but frozen things are always less quality than something fresh, right? That's one takeaway from this. So let's just put as a negative thing, it's a frozen pizza, right? Chances are, you don't get a fresh one, and if you do, it's usually from someplace that makes pizzas, right? But we're just gonna go with the grocery store example. So it's $10, it's frozen, right? That's a negative thing because it's not positive when something's frozen, it's not fresh, right? And then it costs, like a certain amount of time. So let's say it's a 25-minute pizza and it costs time and then it costs some heat, right? And then heat. So 25 minutes and some heat. That's basically it. And then you got your pizza in 25 minutes, right? Costs you $10 plus heat, which is always a factor, right? That's pretty much it. There's also, the cooling, I guess. Let's add that in there. Keeping something frozen. So we'll call it cooling. So that costs a little bit of money. But people forget about that, right? Plus heat, plus cooling. These are great graphics. So yeah, that's what it is, right? $10, 25 minutes, plus heat and cool. That's a C. And then they have pizza. Pizza. Now, the reason I want to go into this is because that's pretty common. People think about that. They're like, oh, I forgot about the heat. I forgot about the cooling. Whatever. It is, it's factored into my rent or it's factored into, the cost of living. I don't even care about my power bill, right? People don't think of that. They don't think of their freezer, their fridge, their, oven. But it does, wear those out. I mean, oven doesn't wear out hopefully every year. So it's not a huge concern. It's one pizza. Not a big deal. But that's just what it is. Over here, you got the $25 pizza. What's $25 pizza? Usually, they have fresh ingredients, or they should. If they don't, then probably shouldn't order from there. But usually they have fresh, stuff. It might be flash frozen. It might be, just made. The dough hopefully is this is a plus. The dough hopefully is fresh. It's just prepared. Just whatever you call that, making dough. They get in the ingredients. Sure, they're cooled because things will, food is a consumable. It always degrades. It's always getting worse, other than like, maybe peppers or something where it changes color or whatever. But anyway, most of the stuff is fresh. So that's one positive, right? And then, it's going to take about 30 minutes for the pizza to get there. And I'm not, the time is not a big deal. I don't care if they're the same or not, but it's 30 minutes or whatever we say. That's usually how long it takes for the, pizza place to get the food, to get it in a car, to get it to me. That's that, right? So basically it's fresh, comes in a box, so I get a box. I'm not going to include the box on here, I don't care. But what else is coming in this package? People think, well, it's $25, that's it. It's a pizza, it gets to me, it's $25. The other thing you're doing is actually you're hiring people. And people don't understand that when you order a pizza on, Skip the Dishes or wherever, you're hiring people. And what are you hiring? You're hiring, the person, so we'll call it one person, that made the dough, right? Because they make dough usually in the mornings or the night before, whatever. They make the dough, they flatten it, they do all the prep work, they get all the ingredients out, So that's the person that made the prep, right? So we'll call that the prep person. Made prep. Then the other person is the one that looks at your order when your order comes in and makes it, right? Handcrafts it. So we'll call it crafting. So they craft your pizza. After they craft your pizza, they stick it in the oven. Plus heat, right? That's their oven. It's not your oven. Plus one driver, one person equals driver, right? And because you've included the 3 people in this equation, of course you're going to pay more. Who are you including in the left equation? You? Well, we didn't even put a price on you, right? So you include these 3 people's wages. You know, it might take them 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. They make it in batches so they can hopefully save some money. As well as you included somebody else's heat. You included their oven. An oven that you don't have to care for. An oven that, you know, degrades over time, that they have to get replaced. You know, a place that professionally prepares this, plus the driver and his gas and everything else. So of course it's going to be $25 for a pizza, right? People don't think, well, you know, I'm paying $10, I'm paying double. Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, you should be buying pizza in order to save money. I'm showing what's going on in the background of why that pizza is $25. Because a lot of people think, well, why don't I just buy 2 pizzas that are frozen and just make it myself? Well, there is a little bit of extra little costs in here. You know, it is frozen, so it's not as fresh. So it's not going to be as great. Sure, you can make the best pizza you can, but then you're probably getting fresh ingredients, right? You can get fresh ingredients. You can get, you know, your peppers, your cheese, whatever. It's probably going to be worth $10 added to the $10 that was a frozen one, because, you know, fresh things cost more money because they're fresh, right? So just wanted to show that there's actually things going on. When you order a pizza, you're actually hiring people for a certain amount of time to make it, to prep it, to craft it, to stick it in the oven, to cut it up, right? This is part of the crafting, is cutting it, and then heating it, right? That's another thing that you don't have to worry about costing you. And then the driver, people forget about the driver. The driver probably takes 10-15 minutes to drive to your place, which then it costs gas. So you hire that driver for 10-15 minutes to come to your place, plus he's got to either get back or he's got to go to his next place. So it's not just the cost of him coming to you, it's the cost of him coming to you and going to the next spot, so that it, you know, it balances out. He could go back to the same pizza place. It's exactly the same. It's like back before, you know, food delivery services, a driver would do multiple, you know, pizzas in a line if he could, so that he could save some money and save some time. And that's how they cut costs, right? So that's what I wanted to show, is that's why, you know, ordering out, people think, oh, it just costs more. Well, actually, you're hiring the people, and you're getting the fresh ingredients, and you know, you're comparing it to something that is frozen in a cardboard box that you have to heat and cool, and you don't even consider your own time, you know, of 25 minutes or whatever you're doing in this time frame, you know, whereas these people are dedicated. These are dedicated times to you, to your specific order and needs. So you temporarily hired people for that amount of 30 minutes. So wanted to share that. It definitely is a different concept if you look at it in this view. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks, and talk soon.